Hello, today I'm going to talk about a strategy that you can use with your students to help them build um, vocabulary and to see relationships between words. This is called a word sort strategy, and it helps, again, students see relationships between words. What you do is you choose 10 words for a selected test, lesson, or unit of study. You can have the words written out or have the kids copy them onto index cards or post-it notes, but have your words prepared. In small groups, in pairs, or individually, students will discuss similarities and differences between these words and sort them into categories. Now, you can have them perform a closed sort, which means that you have already determined the categories they need to sort the words into, or an open sort, which is they look at the words and they have to decide how to sort the words out. They have to come up with that information on their own. So that's a little bit harder. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like. Now, if I were introducing this for the first time, I would actually do the sort by myself without the students' help, and then I'd ask them to help me with the next sort. But in the interest of time, and because most of us know the differences between 3D shapes and 2D shapes, you can see that I have covered, there's a closed sort here that I would like the students to perform. So I might use this at the beginning of the geometry unit or at the end of the geometry unit. At the beginning to decide, well, what do the kids already know? Or at the end, as a quick review, do they know where each of these words goes? And so I would start by saying, let's see, a cylinder. I know that I can hold that in my hand and it holds water. That's then got to be a 3D shape. So I'm going to move it over to the 3D shape line. And I'm going to go through this and do this. Let's see, I know that a square I cannot pick up. It's a 2D shape. I'm going to go ahead and continue to sort these. In the interest of time, I've gone ahead and sorted these. Now you'll notice that I actually used an uneven number. I kind of like to do that sometimes with older kids because they get really into the habit of thinking everything has to be symmetrical and match, and it doesn't always have to be. I want them thinking more than anything. And you'll notice that I have intentionally put a couple of things in the wrong spot. That's okay. Kids learn by making mistakes, and so we can talk about why rectangle wouldn't go in the 3D shape spot, why rectangular prism would instead be under the 3D shapes and rectangle would be under the 2D shapes. But the whole idea is that they get that chance to interact with each other, to establish those connections, and to further cement that understanding in their brains. All right. So again, this is a really simple strategy, but a fun way to get kids up and working together. Now I've got this on Seesaw, but it'd be easy to do it with the kids actually having the index cards to move around, and then they could put it on a sheet of paper, write it down, write the words down, which again isn't just another modality to get this information stuck in their head. This again was a closed sort. I gave them, the students, the two categories that I wanted them to sort the information into, so they didn't have to think through that. Let's take a look at what an open sort might look like. Again, we're going to do a word sort here, but this time I haven't given them the categories, which is kind of nice because now they've got to look at these words, read the words, and decide how they're related or how they're not related. And so as I start to look at these words, happy, patient, consistent, impatient, unstable, dishonest, these are all qualities that talk about people's character. Now if I look at happy and, I see here unhappy. Well, those two are opposites. So maybe I'll decide to look at opposite type character qualities. I'm going to go ahead and do the sort. But this is the kind of thing that the kids would have to think about is, how do these words work? How are they similar? How are they different? Okay, you'll notice I've got the word sorted into two groups. And now what I would ask students to say is, tell me how you sorted your words. What is true about the words in column 1? What's true about the words in column 2? And probably most people say in column 1 we have like good or positive qualities. In the second column, we have words that are maybe negative qualities or not positive qualities. Or maybe someone would say they're opposite. Then we could also use this information to say, I want you to look at the words in this list. I want you to notice the beginnings of these words. Does anybody notice anything about these word beginnings? Turn to a partner and talk about what you notice and what you think it means. So this would be a springboard for kids to start noticing that, oh, these prefixes like un, im, dis, on, in, again, all mean not, right? Not happy, not patient, dishonest. Just another way for kids to start weaving their thinking and their understanding of how the English language works. There's tons of different possible sorts that you could use with your students. I've just listed a few, and I took that from the book. Different parts of speech. Is this a verb or a noun? You decide. Words with multiple meanings. Word families, like, cat, bat, hat. CVC words with the different medial sounds. Words with prefixes or suffixes. We kind of hit on that. Or like in social studies, you could do different periods in time. Like, do these terms go with the Revolutionary War or with World War II? Those are some possible ideas or ways that you could use word sorts as a way to engage kids, get them talking, and get them making those connections. For further information, you can check out our textbook on page 223 or Intervention Central, because this intervention was on both of those sites. So have a great day, and I hope that the strategy is useful for you. Thank you.